everybody to the Credit Connection. We are here live at the Governmental Affairs Conference 2024. I'm sitting with Rahul from TalkDesk's. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you, Sarah. Hello, everyone. Rahul Kumar. I am the GM for our financial services business at TalkDesk's. We are a cloud-native contact center as a service provider with purpose-built solutions that we've brought to market specifically for credit unions and community banks. We are a global organization operating in 106 countries, but what makes us truly different is our industry focus, industry investment, where we are helping organizations like credit unions and community banks truly utilize the power of technology and innovation and deliver the best experience possible to their members and customers. So we're very excited. Last year, as more and more credit unions are looking to invest in modern technology and are focusing on making member experience their differentiation, that's where TalkDesk has seen incredible momentum, and we are very proud to be part of the credit union movement that is ongoing right now.
Yeah, the credit unions are great. I've been in them 25 years. So I, as you were talking, you kind of mentioned, you were talking about member service and how credit unions are very proud of their member service, and that has shifted not to just what's in the branches, but also the call center, the digital experience. And so talk a little bit about how that is evolving, because call center is not like a bunch of middle-aged women sitting there holding answering the phones anymore. What is it now?
Yeah, so I think traditionally credit unions have prided themselves by offering that experience, that high touch, white glove, right? We are close to our members, we understand our members, and we are going to treat them differently. And that's been how they differentiated themselves against Main Street banks, because for Main Street banks, a customer is a customer. But over time, the definition of high touch is starting to change. The pandemic had a role where it forced people to think and behave differently. People are no longer walking into branches as much as they did before. So now credit union is starting to realize that the brick and mortar model is not going to be enough. If you add on top of it, more and more customers are getting so used to that retail-like experience where the Amazon, the Netflix, and if they can, the question that they are asking of their credit unions is, if we can get this experience from everybody else that we interact with, why can't you give me the similar experience? So what we have seen, the shift has changed from that in-person, high-touch, white-glove service to taking that model and incorporating a blend of digital and physical interaction. How can you balance those two together to still deliver that high-touch, white-glove experience, right? So that's where the focus is right now. How do we delight our members in every interaction that we are having, irrespective of the channel that the interaction may occur?
Right.
So that's what we're seeing in the industry. The conversation can start anywhere, end anywhere, but the journey needs to be connected, contextual, and then giving the members the choice, the preference. I am a millennial, or I want to only engage with my bank. I don't want to talk to a person at all. Can you give me that experience? I am, on the other side, I'm a 70-year-old housewife, and all I need is to speak to somebody just for them to assure me that I have enough money in my bank account this month. So how do you continue to balance and serve the needs of the different segments that are part of your community is critical.
Yeah, no, and having that consistent experience builds the brand of the credit union as having that member experience that is consistent and, efficient, and because people don't want to just, banking isn't fun.
Yeah, no, I
They want it as quick as possible. So whether it's mobile or on the call center or in the branch. So
yeah.
yeah,
So we at TalkDesk, what we are doing in this space is we have completely taken the channel out of the equation. So our platform can support an omni-channel experience for members. And because all of those channels are offered natively by TalkDesk on a single platform, we can help credit unions orchestrate those member journeys the way members are expecting. So think about a scenario where the interaction for the member is starting on the website. So a member, they're looking to refinance their mortgage, they're browsing uh, the the refinance rates on the website, and suddenly they get engaged by a chatbot to say, hey, are you looking for something? Can I make it easy for you to? And the chatbot sort of answers, and the chatbot is a much maligned technology, especially with the technology is getting better, right? With generative AI, with knowledge connected into the chatbot, it is getting much more smart, much more intelligent.
Right.
So the way we TalkDesk, we call it autopilot. TalkDesk autopilot can engage, and interact with members in a natural way to really identify what they're looking for. So when and it identifies an opportunity to say, hey, maybe a 30-year mortgage at a fixed rate with the current environment makes the most sense to you. If the member agrees, the conversation can then shift from that chatbot interaction, and the chatbot can route it intelligently to the right person that can help the member in that moment. So it could be a certified loan officer that the chat goes to, and not a general contact center agent, right? So the platform can allow the smart routing using AI, using the intent around the conversation to smart route it to the right person that can really help that member in that moment. And once the loan officer engages with a member, think about a scenario which is very common. If the member suddenly realizes, oh, I need to rush out of the house to pick my son from school, and the conversation needs to now shift to a phone call, TalkDesk allows the immediate seamless switch from a chat to a phone call. So you're talking to the same person, you're not having to repeat the information.
Yes.
You're still continuing the conversation, right? And once they're safe, they come back home, and now they're like they're very comfortable, and they just want to complete the application. The conversation can turn from a phone conversation into a video or a co-browse session where the loan officer can walk them through the form, get their help, provide them the help. And in one seamless interaction, a low-value interaction on the website where somebody was just browsing pages, trying to understand, turned into a high-value interaction where the member got what they needed, and the credit union got the business, right? So these are the sort of experiences, which are multi-channel, which are AI-infused, much more smart, is what we as a platform are trying to help our credit unions realize.
Yeah, AI has been such a buzzword for. I mean, it's been around for years, but of course, ChatGPT kind of like sent it through the roof, and a lot of credit unions are having these conversations about we need to use AI, but not necessarily at a strategic level, like thinking about what does this do, or thinking about it at an outcome level. What do you want from it? So,
you're absolutely right, Sarah. So if you think about, and I mentioned, and that's one of the reasons chatbots got such a bad reputation, because chatbots were treated just as a capability. Like, think, hey, can you answer these 5 questions, and that's about it. And if it's a 6th question, the whole experience circles, right?
Right.
So, but I think what AI, the way we are approaching at TalkDesk, we are approaching AI is really working with our credit union customers and partners to understand what are the use cases that make the most sense to be automated. And the lowest hanging fruit with our industry focus, we have brought prescriptive use cases already pre-built into the platform that is taking care of the 70 to 80% of the sort of most common scenarios.
What are your
right?
hours?
What are your hours?
Yes.
What is your balance? Do you want to transfer money? Do you want to make a payment to your credit card? What's my payoff code for my loan? All of those things are already sorted. Now, where we are going next is to say, what do you want to do next? So we are going in this co-creation, co-innovation journey with our customers, where we are, AI is not going to be, yes, it can be magical, but it's not instant magic, right? So you need to give it time to learn your business. You need to give it time to mature over time. But, we are very, very bullish about what it can do. One of the other things that we need to be very cognizant about is the AI is only as good as the data it has access to, right? Because it does rely on the data to drive those insights, to drive that intelligence. And one of the challenges credit unions have faced in the past is because they have all their the technology ecosystem is so fragmented. Think about a scenario. The chat is with one vendor, the voice or the call center is with another vendor. I like voice biometrics, let me find a voice biometrics vendor. I like SMS, let me go find an SMS vendor. And over time, their ecosystems are so fragmented that their ability to centralize all the data so that the AI can be effective is completely neutralized. So that is where TalkDesk is bringing the value, because now you can integrate all the member touch points irrespective of the channel and bring all the data back and centralized repository, which then the AI can start delivering much more better results. That'll give you the ability to become predictable, proactive in the way you are engaging with your members. So that's the bigger piece that TalkDesk is helping our credit unions solve for.
So you were saying it can be predictive as well?
Yeah, so think about a scenario. Let's just talk about a scenario like, hey, we know that, the AI, the first step is, can the AI identify that the member is Sarah, right? So we can use voice biometrics technology to identify and authenticate Sarah. And as soon as we know it's Sarah, think about the fact that if the AI has the data to say, hey, Sarah calls on the 5th of every month to see if her paycheck got deposited. So if the AI already knows it can proactively predict that it's the 5th, Sarah's talking about her balance, let me just give it to her and hey, let's make it quick, easy, you get what you need, and you get on with what you need to do, and we can do what we need to do. But so that's the predictability. That's a very simple use case, but that's where the predictability comes in, right? So and the proactiveness. Think about a scenario where Sarah, as a small business owner, is calling, and she is anxious and upset because she thinks that she won't be able to make her small business loan payment this month, and she's looking for help to see if there's a possible to defer it by a month, right? Typically in that experience, the contact center agent can only do so much for Sarah in that moment, right? But that's who Sarah is with right now. If the AI is listening and is able to detect the intent, then using real-time sensor capabilities that TalkDesk offers, we can send a notification in real time to somebody who can actually help Sarah. Rather than, and it might not be the contact center agent, so it might be the branch manager at the branch that Sarah generally banks with, or it might be a loan officer who is responsible for Sarah's small business loan. So now you were able to predict, you were proactive in identifying the scenario, and then you proactively send out a notification, and now you can deal help Sarah deal with that situation much more empathetically. I think that's the future. That's the member experience, which is much more predictable, much more proactive, much more empathetic, and we see that delivering the best experience for members for credit unions, and that's how credit unions can truly that's something a credit union can build their brand around, right? Like empathy, proactiveness, predictiveness.
Yeah.
So, and that's where we are very excited about. That's the stories that we want to tell to credit unions that are willing to listen to us.
Yeah, yeah. And the data can tell. I mean, yes, your member who walks in the branch every day or every week or whatever. On a personal level, you get to talking about different things. You might hear about a car loan or something like that. That could be a opportunity for you to like help out the member to refinance their car loan, for example. But with the data on the back end, you can see, their car loan is like 3 years old. They might be shopping for a new car or whatever,
Correct.
and so then taking that step, to show I know you this well.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is the biggest piece, right? If I, as a member, have given my business to you for a decade, that's the minimum I expect from you.
Right.
Like
yeah.
you should know all of this about me already, rather than me having to tell these things to you, right? And so that's the sort of intelligence in the member journeys that we are trying to incorporate, and it does not even it's not only focused on the self-service side, but it's also on the employee side. This, because it's a platform, the same AI is infused across the board. We are trying to make the employees' lives much more simple and easy as well, right? Banking is not easy. Somebody generally, unless they're calling about, hey, tell me my 5 recent transactions, most of the there are emotions associated to money.
Yes.
And if they're calling and they're already stressed and they're in front of the employee, can you let the employee know that, hey, this might be a high stress situation? Your first focus should be getting the member relaxed, right? So say, for example, if the call comes into the contact center and we know that, hey, maybe the member, when we are trying to identify the reason of the call, and they say, hey, I just lost my credit card, I don't know what it is, I see fraud on my credit card. If you already know it, your first instinct should be, let the employee know that the member is stressed. So they can lead with empathy, like the conversation is about, relax, we'll take care of this, rather than trying to get them to share, right? The first thing should be get them to relax and then try to help them. And I think that's where the technology has really evolved, where we can give employees real-time guidance. We can give them advice in dealing with certain situations. We can empower them with real-time knowledge based on the intent of the conversation. So all of those capabilities are available on TalkDesk, and that's where we are really seeing our ability to influence not only the member experience, but also make the employee experience much more empowered and simple. Is a true differentiation for TalkDesk.
And among the credit union movement and business in general, everybody's been talking about the war for talent. And if you're making your employees' job harder, you're not going to keep them, right?
Yeah,
so to make it easier, it could be a powerful retention tool as well.
Yeah, no, I think one of the things that we did a study, and we went and visited a few credit unions. And that was one of the key challenges that they talked to us about, is we have heavy attrition in our contact center. We are on this constant cycle of hiring, training, leaving, hiring, training. Like it's a constant cycle, right? So we try to uncover the reasons why that was happening. And one of the things that some of the things were, people dealing with high stress situations. People like, I did not sign up for this.
Yeah.
Like when we interviewed some of the agents, they were like, this is difficult, this is hard. The other aspect of that was on the technology side. They're like, we do not have the tools to be successful. Instead of trying to focus on, delivering the best member experience possible, we are looking at these 32 different places to trying to find the information we need to service the member. And that's what, investing in a modern platform that can deliver, aggregate information from multiple places and deliver that single pane of glass experience, and then you add AI on top of it to drive that empowerment. That's powerful. That's a powerful experience that you can enable. So that is where, talking to our customers, interviewing the agents, we've been able to really focus on delivering, on helping organizations deliver on the promise of better employee experience.
So we've talked about a lot today. I'm going to let you wrap up with your final thoughts. Talk about whatever you would like as your parting gift to credit unions.
No, I think we are, like I said, we are very excited about, really truly being part of this credit union movement, which is all about empowering communities, empowering the members, and really truly becoming a partner to these credit unions as they embark on this journey to adopt modern technology. We are very excited. We are seeing fantastic momentum, and we love all our credit union partners that have trusted in us and continue to trust in us to deliver value to them and to their members. So, Sarah, thank you for having me.
And thank you, Rahul.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Me too.